the jaws of defeat, who can manage to escape them in this lower bracket elimination match.
Yeah, because we heard from panel, we heard backstage, we've been talking about it. Game 1 and Game 2, that was not the best form of either one of these teams. The TI pressure cooker, man, it definitely gets to people, and these teams have both slipped up and lost control of the game when they had it firmly in hand. And we'll see whether or not what happens in Game 3, whether or not they're going to elevate each other or if the pressure breaks these teams down, and who's going to remain the strongest in the end when they need it most. Ace is going to be in some trouble here, surrounded by Liquid members, and that'll be first blood to Mickey.
Nice little positioning by Liquid. 5 heroes to a rune can almost never go wrong, and I'm surprised we don't see teams do it more, because when you split up, you are giving a chance for that first blood. It'll go straight into Mickey's pocket. We talked after Game 2, what are these teams going to go to? I thought they were going to go to more scale, and I mean, what scale's harder than a Terrablader, right? This is one of the ultimate late game heroes. You have Puck to back it off. Back it up, a lot of pick-off damage between the two supports in terms of magical burst. And I kind of agree, like, the scale looks difficult for gaming. However, we have seen Weaver just decimate heroes in the late game, right? Yep. This is not the same Weaver you're used to seeing. With the talents, with the shard, these Geminate hits come out, you get crits on them, anybody disappears. And of course, a Void Spirit for Quinn. One of his signature heroes and a hero he goes back to in crunch time when everything is on the line.
Deadshot gonna try to scare him away. Ace does manage to pick up that bounty rune. It is going to be a split. So we're going to see a situation here where, yeah, you gave up first blood if you're gaming Gladiators, but they also found one of the observer wards, and they still managed to go 2-2 on bounty runes. So a relatively even start, particularly since Nisha wasn't the one to claim the last hit. That would certainly change how this matchup goes between Void Spirit and Puck.
This is a very non-one-sided matchup. It's very skill-based. If you give Nisha first blood here, he definitely would probably run away with it. But now, Quinn has a decent shot to just win this lane. This is a matchup that he's played 1,000 times, I can guarantee it. He's very used to it. Had the block advantage to such a degree, it got under the tower, though, so it's going to push it right back into Nisha. We'll give him level 2 advantage, but I'm pretty curious to see how this plays out over the long run, because I would think Quinn can win it a little bit, but Void Spirit's just not a hero that's been in the meta recently at all. This is a hero that fell off very hard, got nerfed very hard. These Spirit Brothers are getting hit left, right, and center. He's like one of the last ones standing at this point as Ember has vacated the premises. He used to scale very hard, so this could be a Void Spirit if it gets to 60 minutes, can do some work. And yeah, Furion struggling on this bottom lane. I mean, we saw the panel talk about these side lanes for Liquid, right? They are very strong, particularly around those level 2 and 3 timings. If you don't cheese the early waves, as AUI said, these guys are probably just going to out-regen you, particularly the Skywrath Centaur lane that has been a struggle for Celery early, though he is surviving it. Of course, you had a little XP advantage off the first blood. Those things make a big difference over the long run.
I want to go back to this mid matchup just because I think the story between these two is pretty interesting. Nisha, for the longest time throughout his career, he's been heralded as the best player in the world. Maybe he still is that, maybe he's not. But Quinn has been rising. His stock is incredibly high right now due to Gaming Gladiators' performance throughout the year, and he's long been heralded as one of the best laners, first in North America, and then the rest of the world. He's proved it this year. So going up against Nisha, I think, is a little special for him. And a chance to be able to take the throne away from the current best mid in the world.
He's also talked about it. Playing in Europe this year gave him the confidence to go against these players and rise to that occasion, and we're seeing it here. The lane going Quinn's way in a matchup he's very comfortable with. 13, 14, and 3 to the 8-0 on Nisha. So he's taking an early lead. This is what you want to see in this matchup. Be able to contest those power runes later on and deny the tempo away from Nisha on maybe the slightly stronger rotating hero here. I mean, if Puck gets a really good game here, there's not a lot to stop him, right? He's going to cause problems for Dyrachyo in the fights. Ace can't guarantee have the lockdown for him with a Wraith Fire Blast. It's just not the best stun in the world.
Yeah, the calling can sometimes be a little bit hard to hit. Deadshot's unreliable.
Yeah, I mean, the calling might be their best tool to deal with him if he runs out of, Blink Johnson and everything, but this is a good Puck scaling game if it goes really late. Both these mids can have crazy impact down the road if they get there with the true 5 to 6 slots.
Good use of the calling to block out heroes from being able to grab that Lotus.
Still, we're seeing Ace struggle up here, man. That first blood did work for Mickey, and I mean, Liquid are continuing to abuse him on the lane here. Wraith King, not the strongest level 1 and 2 hero. You're really looking for that 3 to 5, and you really want to get kills or good lane pressure out of the skeletons. Just hasn't happened for Ace so far.
Back gonna be in trouble here. He gets one last stomp off before he goes.
Level advantage. Yep, double range, both level 3 to the level 2s on Liquid side. So Boxing's Eye eventually getting out XP down here. And I mean, this is a very strong lane of its own. Gaming decided to meet this aggressive lane with even more aggression. Sprout into Swarm, into just go on you, slay you, send you back to the fountain before the Vanguard can come out on Zai. Double ring is solid for the armor, but there's just not enough regen.
Yeah, Centaur starts with 0 armor, so the physical damage of Weaver is actually kind of a problem here. Picks up the water rune away from Nisha. Quinn continuing to have Nisha's number.
Box?
Looks like they're going to go for this Furion kill and get it, but it's going to be a trade-off. Boxy gives up his own life, and Duraccio is going to be happier for it as he puts the damage back onto Zai as he tries to get out of the way. Ring of Health is picked up, and he's got a healing salve, so he'll be able to stay in lane healthy.
Oh, we got the
but Duraccio takes away part of that healing salve.
Extra Geminate point as well. Opted not for Sakuchi cooldown. Just packing the raw damage into Zai here and taking advantage of early Falcon Blade for some regen. This is a very strong start for Duraccio, top of the board here. These extra kills mean a lot for Weaver in this early game in terms of a snowball carry. This is probably the best one in the meta. They're straight back onto Zai bottom, and it should be a pickup here with that Blood Grenade taking him out.
It's great reads from Game of Gladiators. In fact, they get the kill on the top lane as well. Seeing the Skywrath Mage TP mid, they knew it was perfectly fine to be able to dive a Centaur like they're doing, and now they're just trickling in one by one. Boxy underneath the towers being assaulted, and they can't really do much about it. He's going to try and hide, healing salve a little bit just to stay alive long enough for the Centaur to get here, but it's too late. Zai cannot punish Duraccio.
And the creep wave went past that tier 1, so Zai lost the flag bearer creep. He lost XP on that double salve down the drain. A huge amount of economic damage done bottom. I mean, it doesn't reflect in the CS, but Duraccio just took 1,000 gold lead over Zai on this bottom lane at 5 minutes here. This is an explosive start for an explosive carry in this patch. And we also saw Ace use the skeletons well top, right? That's at level 3 Wraith King timing. They found the opening there as well. So Gaming once more showing their prowess in the first 10 minutes here. One of the strongest laning teams in the world for a reason. This is the time to make use of it, right? They did not want to play these long games at TI. They did not want to play the 70-minute Midas Farm Fest. They wanted to use their strengths as a team to propel themselves to a podium finish. So far in this game 3, it's looking solid.
Power runes well controlled by Gaming Gladiators. It looks like top lane.
Oh, that's a big rune.
Double damage. Quinn trying to pounce, misses out thanks to the phase shift, but does manage to nade him with the remnant and the dead shot from across the screen. Shows up for Tofu to get the last hit, but if they can get Quinn in return, Quinn knows he can't get away, so he'll accept his fate.
I mean, he's probably happy to get the kill on Nisha, shut Nisha down. That's a big swing in XP for him that is unfavorable towards Nisha, but you know he would have liked that double damage rune. I mean, both these mids are really good rune abusers, so that's what they're really fighting for here.
Got the silence onto Duraccio. The burst damage isn't going to be quite enough. He gets off Sakuchi, almost killing Zai in the process, but he respects his own life more than
1v2
kill.
Falcon Blade Bracer. A lot of early tank on this Weaver trying to survive the burst, and it's paid off here. Duraccio continuing to have a solid laning phase, dealing with the aggression. And I mean, look at the levels of Celery. That's the other factor of this bottom lane. This Furion's level 5 before the 7-minute Wisdom rune. This is a crazy pace for him. If he can rotate to mid, it's just pressure on all 3 lanes now for Liquid. They have to deal with this, get through this period to where their heroes hit that mid-game stride and the Terrorblade can join the fights.
Speaking of that Terrorblade, close to the Weaver in net worth, hasn't gotten the same number of kills that Duraccio's been able to be a part of, but has done well in the CS. And one of the only heroes that really isn't being pressured in the lanes right now, though I'm sure Gaming Gladiators will change that narrative at some point.
Man, Quinn just keeps on bringing the pain to Nisha. He does not want to let him have high resources on this map. Wants to continue to push the wave in so he can contest these power runes. This is what Void Spear can do in this matchup. You just spam the pulse. Very hard for Nisha to win these trades over the long term. Even the raindrop just getting broken down here as Quinn hunting this next wave into the power rune. Tofu lingering around as well. I mean, this is one Liquid want to contest for sure. They're going to bring both supports.
They know this dive is going to be coming, trying to pull him back into the calling, and it was enough. Beautifully executed by Gaming Gladiators. Just as Insania and Boxy were making the rotation through the river, it could not have been better executed. It could not have been better timed.
This is 8-minute rune going into Quinn's pocket, unless Boxy with a heads-up TP can deny it? No. So that's both supports rotating to watch their mid die and not get the rune. It's early game, shaping up to be very favorable for Gaming. By the way, the whole time that happened, Ace just took your top tier 1 with some Skelly boys. So that tower's also gone, which will push Mickey farther into this jungle, open up the rotation to mid if Ace really wants it, which would not surprise me, as I feel like he's going to play this Wraith King like another Lone Druid. Go Radiance and hit the objectives.
Yep. And I wonder if he's going to go for that Aghanim Scepter that we've seen a lot from this off-lane Wraith King. That'll be pretty interesting considering how reliant Liquid is on burst, right? Their first 4 heroes we see in this game are all magic damage burst. They want to be able to get the numbers advantage. That Aghanim Scepter could ruin that entire concept. Coil underneath tower. Calling hits him a second time with the dead shot, pushing him back in. Tofu is playing this Muerta beautifully.
Showing the strength of it too. This is just not a spell you can dodge. And Nisha is struggling in this mid lane, getting outnumbered constantly, not winning the rune battles. Quinn outlaned him slightly and it created the advantage.
Oh, didn't get the silence off in time. He got off the Shikuchi as a result. And now they're going to turn. Quinn's going to show up with the Astral Steps and catch Zai. Going for more now. Dyrachyo offering the high five as he picks up the courier instead of going for the supports.
Liquid supports getting routed on the map right now. They don't have the levels to fight back. They're missing the ults on these bursts. On this burst duo that really needs them to follow up on the Centaur Stomp. Without that, you're just getting outpaced by the Furion and the Muerta here, which have the XP advantage, have the gold advantage, and are just playing around Quinn. Mid tower gone as well off that Ace backstab that I feel was inevitable. This is shaping up to be a very one-sided early game. It's going to come down to if Liquid can bring the game back. You know, that 10 to 20 minute period can be very strong for them. If they get the ults up, they find some quick bursts on the Weaver. A lot of squishy heroes on gaming side. So you build up these streaks, you give away a couple pickoffs. Suddenly, Mickey, he's going to be in a decent position.
Zai taking so much damage. The Vanguard plus the Chainmail, and it's still not enough to protect him here. Tofu does get popped. Does Nisha pay the price for it? Managed to dodge some of that damage thanks to the phase shift. And there's a lot of heroes here. Quinn's going to back away with this haste. Wait till Dyrachyo brings some reinforcement. Gonna jump onto Boxy, see if he can burst him down. He does so beautifully with the Wrath of Nature coming in. That high level of Celery is finally gonna be able to pay off. Even if they don't collect the kill on Zai, just maintaining control of this area could be big for Gaming Gladiators.
This is also ancient control for Mickey later as Liquid, we're thinking about stacking up the triangle. I mean, this is the recovery farm for Nisha. You invade this early, take the fight. It's an insane amount of space for Ace, who's just gobbling up the map right now, but you're also just not getting punished for it. Haste rune, again, the power rune control, which has gone to Quinn. Really make or breaking these early fights. They are taking a significant lead here as Liquid yet to strike back so far. You've seen momentum shift drastically in these games, however, so I would not put it past them. It has to be around these coils and the stomp, right? Your supports are not going to set up these big core kills. It's got to be around Nisha or Zai setting it up and bringing in the firepower afterwards. But you are still looking for level 6 on Boxy here. That's a big component. Need this Mystic Flare.
Stampede barely gets him out. Boy, that Solar Crest combined with the Weaver burst damage was pretty tough to deal with. The coil, but the orb doesn't land. So they're going to miss a bit of damage here, but it looks like they can run down Tofu all the same. He gets off the calling, gets off a little bit damage before he falls. 12-minute power rune. Can Liquid claim one for themselves finally?
Now, you know Nisha wants it. You at least get a chance at the 50-50 tier, and he gets rewarded. Regen, maybe not the most powerful, but the one he will take right now.
Particularly with a Pugna who can already refill you up.
And Dyrachyo is farming enemy ancients here. No fear. Very aggressive build, making it work. A lot of extra gold in their pocket. More economic damage going Liquid's way as this Blink Dagger for Zai is a long way off.
On the way, the Aether Remnant's going to be able to grab him. Half his health is gone in an instant. Zai is going to be bailed out by Insania, though. These are the kind of plays that Liquid is going to look to be able to save a hero and perhaps push back against Gaming Gladiators. Got to make sure Gladiators, got to make sure they do not overextend themselves. Again,
they're just farming everything, though. It's more ancient stacks going their way. It's completely taken Liquid's side of the map. And the biggest ticking time bomb here is Ace, man. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't watched him, but he's somehow more farmed than last game. This is going to be a faster Radiance. 13.5 minutes here. In fact, 13 on the dot. He finishes it on the courier.
It's going to be crazy good timing. A pickup, they have to get this. They committed so so many heroes for it. They do manage to bring down Dyrachyo. Almost got Celery as well. Zai just barely outside of that range.
That's that coil into Mystic Flare that they were waiting for. Mystic Flare delayed on Boxy, but the second he gets it, puts it to use. And this is a combo they can continue to use in this game. Gaming are going to be very susceptible against it until they have, you know, maybe second item round, especially for Dyrachyo on that BKB on Weaver. He dies every time in a silence from Skyrath or Puck if you have the damage follow-up. So now it's just getting to Zai's beak, getting to Zai's blink, and Mickey Scotty take a fight around those items, keep finding the pickoffs with the puck off cooldown, and stall this game out.
Pick off on Mickey here behind the tier 2. Celery completes the TP, spots Mickey. Quinn gets behind him now. See if they can burst him down. They've got plenty of silences and stuns to make sure there's no chance at a Sunder. And thanks to the skeletons, they can get some good damage on tier 2. Meanwhile, Dyrachyo dodged a gank attempt. So they were both gunning for the enemy carry, but it's Gaming Gladiators who succeed.
Will result in a swift tier 2 for Ace, who has occupied this side of the map and is squeezing Liquid back into their triangle here. Another power rune did go Nisha's way, but it's an invis, so again, the rune luck continuing to be obnoxious for him. This game continues, and another quick pause.
It's a dangerous moment, too. You can see Gaming Gladiators.
Yeah, they are ramping up, right? This is a cross-map smoke.
Yeah, they're moving, they're trying to cut across, see if they can catch Nisha, anybody in the triangle. And if they succeed, Ace will have gone from a 13-minute Blink Dagger to a 13-minute Radiance to like a 15-minute Blink Dagger. He's very close.
This is a deadly fight right now if you give it up. Particularly for what Mickey is trying to do. He's trying to hit these timings on Terrorblade, and every time you give up a couple of these kills, it makes it harder for him to come into the fight and have impact, because he can reflect this Wraith King back against Gaming, right? The Terrorblade can do some work, particularly if he can get a Sunder off in a fight, if he's not debilitated by the Calling Silence here. Those are the things that have to line up here, which is why you need Zai and Nisha to create the initiation, or at least take the brunt of the go. The Echo finished for the Void Spear here as
that is going to be a little bit troublesome. Breaks the smoke move and goes for the pickoff on Tofu. It's not immediate. In fact, Insania, who tried to jump forward to finish him off, is going to be running into the silence. They trade out supports, though. Zai trying to find a target somewhere in this, only stomping up Celery, but Celery doesn't care. He's pretty tanky. In fact, he turns around. Mickey is going to be stalled up. They do manage to bring down the Wraith King the first time, while the Skyrath Mage is going to be left victim to Dyrachyo's aggression. Mickey now trying to get out, but too many heroes are there. A double kill for Quinn and a 1-for-4 exchange for Gaming Gladiators.
Morita continually causing Liquid problems in these fights. It's so hard to engage into this calling, plus the Deadshot reflecting heroes into it. And of course, Skeleton's up for Ace that entire time. Did a serious amount of damage here. 3,100 pumped out from this Wraith King, just burning everybody down. Happy to trade that level 1 ult for a cleanup on that team fight. Only Nisha survives. If that coil hits on Quinn, maybe you can commit on him with the follow-up, because I have decent positioning on the backside. But again, you're still looking for the Centaur Blink here, right? You just don't have that stun initiation that brings your supports into the fight. It's a big component that's missing. They continue to look for it, and Dyrachyo continues his hunting spree.
Yeah, he's got Decrepify, so he's going to be okay for a small window of time. The silence is lasting onto Dyrachyo. Oh, we barely got off that time lapse. That was a close call, but he does it, and because maybe he lives here, still hit by the coil. A little bit more damage is all they need. The Shukuchi lasts so long, though. He's going to get another round off. They are going to follow this orb, but it's not going to be enough. Nisha's not going to catch him. He gets away. Zai dies on the other side of the map, and they still got that kill onto Insania. Gaming Gladiators are getting everything on this map and getting punished. Not at all.
Extra strength items for Dyrachyo paying off. Even that trusty shovel coming in handy there. Some HP. Yeah, I mean, the amount of Ancients they've taken off this map compared to Liquid is, it must be astounding, right? They took so many of their early stacks. They've been stacking their own side of the map as well. They have a Furion cleaning up the side wave, so this is just max efficiency right now.
The fact that he's taken so many Ancients on the side of Dyrachyo while holding that safe lane tower for this entire game. I mean, we haven't seen a tower go down. Liquid has not been able to get enough ground off of a losing laning phase.
And that's what's continuing to punish Zai here. Because Centaur is a hero that wants to open up this tier 1 off the back of early Vanguard and some lane domination. That is what Skyrath Centaur is designed to do. So when you're put in this position, there's nothing to farm for Zai here. You can't go and do Ancients, take it away from his other cores. I mean, half of those have gone to game in anyway. Where's he supposed to go, right? Still looking for this blink. 400 away. That will be the comeback opportunity here for Liquid, as they have found themselves down 10K at 17 minutes. This is going to be a mountain to climb.
Two-man smoke up. Tofu and Quinn just like that last game where we saw the killing power of the Pugna plus Kunkka go to work, this combo has been equally deadly. They're going to try and put it to work on Zai once again, slowing down his Blink Dagger time and time again. The dead shot does not land. Can Quinn finish the job? He's going to jump in, but he immediately gets stopped up, and the overextension. Oh, he's got just a little bit left. Oh, he gets away to simulate on out, and they cannot finish the job. Even Insania on the other side. Quinn doubles back, sees the support trying to get the kill, but he dances away freely, and now Insania has got himself killed as well.
2,000 HP on a mid backline jumper. I mean, that is the Echo Ogre Club build paying off for Quinn here, and also just the delay and the timings, right? Imagine you get that connection 4 or 5 minutes ago. He's dead for sure.
Yep. Imagine you had a few more levels on the Centaur, right? He's only got 2 levels of double edge. The burst damage just wasn't there.
Zai's game is just, it's been decimated here. And we are feeling it, as Liquid are also feeling it, trying to rally around these tower defense. And I mean, this is coming down to mid-game, right?
Oh, mass CPs, but the coil wasn't in time. Managed to get the blink backwards. They're going to have to just hope they get Celery, but even that game, the Gladiators are showing they're willing to turn around and fight. And Zai's going to die again before he gets his blink dagger. The initiation missing, and pieces of it will continue to be missing as they lose yet another fight on the side of Liquid. Now they are getting desperate. Nisha cutting waves like this.
This BKB for Dyrachyo is coming out. It might just seal the deal in terms of you bursting the Weaver here. All these heroes just look so damn tanky.
Yeah.
You got a Mystic Flare, and it has to connect. It has to connect big here. And soon for Liquid, or you're just looking at another early high ground, because Gaming have not been afraid to push the tempo very fast and go high ground early, especially building up the auras here. You're going to have a pipe from Celery. Gabe says, well, this game is almost over.
You got a 3% chance. That's what it gives you, Liquid.
Let me just say, though, I feel like I've won some games where I had worse odds than that.
Yeah. Get the BKB out of Dyrachyo. Again, the 3rd time he's picked up the BKB, and the first charge is used defensively, but I'm sure this one feels a lot better because they're killing Zai again. 7 deaths in 20 minutes. That has to be one of the highest death counts I've ever seen Zai have in his illustrious career.
This is a rough one for sure, and it's not going to be a pretty way back, right? You're just going to have to do it dirty and blink in, die every fight, and hope it's enough to carry it off the damage from the puck and the Terror Blade.
Yeah, that's the funny part, right? It doesn't get any better for Centaur when you're behind like this.
So he's still looking for that blink. He will eventually get it. It will be a glorious day when it happens.
I don't know. He's been hard stuck on that 2K net worth for a while.
He can sell some items here. It's okay.
That's true. That's true.
He has it guaranteed.
Well, he can't sell the Quelling Blade. Got to keep that at all times. That Furion is going to be super annoying for him. But you're right. 50 gold away. It'll happen. As long as he doesn't die, he could literally just sit in his base and wait.
No, he's chill. He's farming.
Chill.
Farming some pine cones in the corner right now. Untouched. Blink Dagger is bought here for Zai. He will finally get to it in this game. And now you have to do something with it. But that's step 1.
Yeah, that was step 1 of about, I would say, 20 different steps for a Liquid comeback. Because Game of Gladiators, they're super tanky. They've got a second life on Ace at all times, 6 reincarnation. Dyrachyo has a BKB. So, yeah, you've got the initiation, but can you actually burst anybody before they get off their magic meter?
Not if the fight starts with Ace just going in, right? That's the nightmare for Liquid. If Ace just starts the fight, you have to punch through him twice. It's going to make sure that Dyrachyo gets his BKB off and Quinn gets a guaranteed jump. That's what Gaming are looking for. And Ag's done for Quinn. This is extremely fast on top of the Echo here. This is where the Void Spirit puck matchup becomes almost unplayable, right? Like, what is Nisha supposed to do into this double pulse that's silencing him? Quinn's going to have his freedom. BKB also done for Ace. So one of those lives, he's going to be running around immune for 9 seconds. But we did get the Scotty on Mickey, and this is one of the big comeback mechanisms for Liquid. If you can get a good fight with a reflection on Ace with Scotty just kiting out these heroes.
Celery cuts him off, but, oh, 10 HP. He does die in the end. Meanwhile, mid lane, they actually are fighting this one out. Quinn,
one hit.
Once again, survives on just a little bit of damage. He actually went for that kill, you madman. The block, the shield is just enough to get Celery out of it, but Mickey, he's going to be in trouble. As soon as Zai dies, they're going to turn all their attention over to this guy. The answer he gets it just on the tip. Quinn survives and gets Mickey killed with his final touch.
Liquid gets split on the map, and it just goes horrible here as they get nothing out of it outside of Celery top, which you wanted this Quinn kill again. It's very close. Mickey shows up with the Scotty. You get the connection. This is what you're looking for with that Blink Hoof Stomp reveal at 22 minutes, and still, Gaming just outpacing you with the HP here. Your damage has continuously been behind, trying to up it up. It's just not there yet. And yeah, Ace, he's going to start every fight if he can. That was one of those rare opportunities where you got a chance to go on Quinn. You got to make those count.
Just seems like the laning phase has given Gaming Gladiators that extra bit, like 10% more HP they needed every single time, or almost every single time, to survive through the initiation. And it is beginning to snowball. Every single fight going worse and worse for Team Liquid. Now up to a 19,000 net worth lead for Gaming Gladiators.
Yeah, it's out of control, right? And a lot of it's just on Celery and Tofu cleaning up so much of the map. Furion thrives in these situations where you can corner the enemy early off a good lane win and just clean up the lanes. I mean, full pipe Solar Crest on Celery. He's just going to build every utility item in the bank, make sure his cores are unkillable. The Glimmer Cape on Tofu is what bailed Quinn out on that mid lane as well. These are difficult items for Skywrath to play into, which is why this deficit is so looming, because you have to have this Mystic Flare connect. And every one of these utility items that come out makes it a little more difficult.
And the Terror Blade becomes even easier for Gaming Gladiators to bring down with a completed Mjolnir for Dyrachyo.
Damage is coming, and it's coming fast. 2 minutes left on the Aegis here. Do you go high ground?
Yeah, I mean, they already picked it down to half, so
yeah,
might as well.
You are going high ground.
They can try and burst him, take away that Aegis as quick as possible. Not enough. Zai dies for pretty much nothing, because Dyrachyo just shrugs off that damage with the time lapse. And the Glyph will only stall Gaming Gladiators for so long. Liquid, they are in desperate straits now. A little bit of heal put on to Mickey, but you don't have to worry about the heroes if you're Gaming Gladiators. You can focus on the objectives.
Yeah, just wait for Ace to jump right. These reflections are what hurt. If Mickey keep getting these off, this is what will actually deal the damage in the fight. That's why
that radius back around. Instant silence under the coil. Is it enough damage though? Once again, he's held in place, but he's too tanky. Mickey can't quite commit. Not with Gaming Gladiators. The rest of heroes surging forward. They got that one kill. Immediate buyback though from Insania to hold this lane of barracks, and Gaming Gladiators will respect it.
Just refill the resources here. No time lapse on Dyrachyo. Don't want to spend BKBs in a bad situation when you can just reset and continue to build your lead here.
Does mean they're going to be a little bit pushed for time if they would still want to use this Aegis. They got 1 minute left, so Dyrachyo, they just cruise straight down middle. They could still make good use of it.
Yeah, they can. I mean, this AC is almost completed for Ace. He's one component away. So the next 2 minutes could have it if he just farms up the entire map.
Do you feel like Gaming Gladiators,
also no meta,
is there a rush to take this lane of barracks?
I mean, no, but the opening's there because you know Mickey doesn't have meta. And there's no way Liquid are taking a fight without it, right?
So how much do you take then? Is the question.
It is the question.
There is a welcome mat on the front middle lane.
Nobody's home.
Gaming Gladiators just walk right through the door, take the lane of barracks. There are no tier 2s. So they can translate this into even more. Team Liquid will be forced back to defend at some point.
Yeah, there's a wave in their base with the catapult. There's another wave coming in. They did not cut these. There's just a free double lane. There's no towers bottom as well. You're looking at Mega's potential. In a meta where the high ground has thwarted so many teams, Gaming just stroll into a double lane here. No defense, no contest, as that meta is still 50 seconds off cooldown here.
I think
feels like an eternity.
It doesn't feel like Liquid is getting an item. It's not like, oh, we gave up 2 lanes to barracks, but now we have this. This will help us win everything. As, oh, Nisha gets caught up by that one. Phase shift, he's able to blink away. The clawing's going to be a problem, but he does manage to blink, but straight into the arms of Dyrachyo. Easily takes up that kill and looks for more. Insanity's going to be cleaned out. That's a dieback for him. Zai dies right next to the fountain. Gaming Gladiators are way too strong for Liquid right now, and they're going to go for the killing blow by taking Megas in the bottom lane. Again, there is really nothing rolling in for Liquid. Mickey is desperately trying to farm up with DKB, but he's one whole component away.
Ace right back in.
Almost one-shotting Boxy. Barely even needed Quinn's help.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go with this meta. 5 seconds on the cooldown for Mickey. Just praying he has enough time to get this, use it, make something happen.
Managed to grab him, dies again. Zai.
Where's the team? They're all dead. I mean, meta.
Mickey against the world. Ace immediately going to jump onto him. Anybody help out Mickey? No chance at Asunder, and GG is called. Gaming Gladiators will do it.